of the profile. Hey, everybody got the memo here. Wearing black because we're honoring the trading dead. Matt, how you doing today?
Bobby, I could not be better. It's a beautiful day. 40s, winter and January, snow we've had, everything's glowing. This is the day, my friend.
Come on, bring it in.
This is the day. Remember that band, The?
One of my
The
favorites.
1983 soul mining album? You didn't wake up this morning because you didn't go to bed. You were watching the whites of your eyes turn red. The calendar on your wall, ticking the days off. You've been reading some old letters. You smile and think how much you've changed. All the money in the world couldn't buy back those days. You pull back the curtains and the sun burns into your eyes. You watch the planes flying across the clear blue sky. This is the day your life will surely change. This is the day when things fall into place. Love those guys, Bobby.
Oh, Matt, Davey, how about, come on, everybody on your feet. Give him a little ovation, man. Fantastic.
Bobby.
Dude, I had a friend reach out on Face Crap, and she said that she was running into problems with her workout soundtrack. Song came right into my mind, man. Working out, this is the day, baby. This is the day. And Matt, very important that we talk about this because there's a lot of chatter about unfairness in the system.
Bobby, I can't deal with it.
I saw a couple of things that related to this, right?
Yep.
Russia blocks access to Pornhub and tells citizens, meet someone in real life. Listen, please stop going and fucking yourself, right, Matt? Get out there and.
I wonder if Biden will eventually say that, and he'll say, "Go find a little girl to sniff her hair."
Matt, the shadow banning will ensue if you keep that up. The other one that I saw, which was awesome from Barstools, is a pro tip here. Before you do a live TV interview, check your background shelves for stray dildos. This Yvette Amos, BBC, Wales Today.
Maybe she's in the sexual well-being business, so maybe it was all part of the props.
Holy cow, that's a whale of a dildo that she's got. Anyway, and believe me, Matt, we've always had a motto, that everything is a dildo if you're brave enough, right? Yes. And as a trader, we all know this because things can get stuffed in your can, a la GameStop, in the recent...
Stop the GameStop.
GameStop, stop pounding the stock in my ass, GameStop. And there's been let's just go through it, right? Tasty Works, our clearing custodian, Apex, says only exiting positions available, right? And then Interactive Brokers, only same type of thing, 100% margin, 300% margin for short positions. This one by Robinhood, owned by Citadel. We've talked about the possible conflict of interest, although they didn't play it very well if they're reading the book, or maybe they did.
I think they were probably knew everybody was short and just said, let's get along. I mean, this is what people don't get. I mean, 80 to 85% of the volume on Wall Street is big trading groups, hedge funds, bankers, trading desks. It's not the Reddit. I've seen this game before. It was 1995, and it was a bulletin board on the new intraweb thing called Silicon Investor. They did the same shit, Bob, in the late 90s into the 2000s, and it ended the same way in January, February of 2000. I don't know if we're going to end here at the top like this, but it sure feels similarly eerie. This is the day to learn from your mistakes, people.
Well, not only that, Matt. Yeah. To learn that
really understand. And if you don't understand the rules, and I like to use this one. I'm a shitty poker player because I don't bluff well. And bluffing such to me, an unknown part of the game to quantify. Like, I have no idea how to quantify unless you can read people and their body language very well and their ticks and all that. I don't have enough time in the day to do that stuff. It's not that important to me. The point is, if you don't understand the rules, you're the shill at the table. And all these people that are complaining, from AOC to the Winklevoss twins, Twinkle Toes, I mean, give me a freaking break. They know the rules of the game. Why do you think they're out there pumping their fucking Bitcoin every day? Because they got shit to sell on their shitty exchange, Gemini. Give me a fucking break. It's all the same.
Matt, tell me how you really feel. Here's for sure though that you.
And I will also say that by preventing new traders, only new traders. So if you were already long GameStop or AMC, you had an opportunity to sell the last week, and you had another opportunity to sell today. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to go short, but that happens. I've seen it happen to me many times as a small bit, and I've traded up to hundreds of thousands of shares in stocks before, and I'm still small. That doesn't, the point is, if you don't understand the rules, and the rules are always evolving and changing to make it as fair as they can for everybody, and make sure that their investors and their brokerage and their clearing divisions sustain themselves. They don't want to have all their money in on one issue. Guess what? There's 8,000 more stocks in the U.S. and there's thousands more around the world. Find something else to trade if you can't trade this.
Well, here, Matt, listen, and let's just fucking end this like this. The market has mechanisms, because nobody wants a truly no limit game. That doesn't serve anybody long run. Yeah, some people got blown the fuck out. Some people made a lot of money, but at some point the exchanges, they step in. It happens at the Merc. It happens in commodities. It goes to raise the margin through the roof. You can only exit a position, no new positions allowed, because the whole trading game isn't meant to blow the whole fucking thing up on one particular trade setup.
Right.
Now they let this thing go, and people got blown up, and people made a ton of money. At the end of the day, the exchange is supposed to step in and bring some sort. So what do we just say? All right, listen. The price for GameStop is infinity, and everybody's out of business. Right. I mean, you can't. That's the only. You take this to the end game. That's not how these things really. It's like when you sat down at the poker table or the card table with your friends, like I did, and you played gut. We only played no limit gut until somebody lost their snowmobile or something, and it was like listen, we can't do this anymore. You got to put a limit on the loss. Now I think that's something that could be clarified in all of these exchanges and these trade setups. Listen, if there's a fucking 100x move in a week, we're stopping trading. A 10x, a 50, whatever it is, whatever what the no limit game is.
Well, but this is
not unusual activity for them to step. We're stopping trading in this.
Yeah, I've seen it before. This is not new. It's just now that this is the story, the flavor of the day for all the media, because I got nothing better to talk about. Another 28 executive orders maybe out of Biden today on top of the first review.
We should be talking about an over-under on executive orders by the end of the month. Now that's some real action.
Exactly, because he's already at 28 as of yesterday. I'm sure he's got another 15. He's basically doubling every day. So because there is no laws on his agenda, he's got no unity going in his whole agenda. Anyways, let me jump real quick to a couple charts just to make a point. AMC, okay, nobody's going to the movies. The movie theaters are closed. The stock was under $2. I don't want to be short at $2. That's dangerous. That's stupid. Okay. And we talked about this yesterday. So if you were dumb enough to be short to zero for the last $2, you're dumb. It's not the game I play. And when this thing broke out to 4 or 320, you should have been gone. You should have lost 50% of your money and said, night, night. It's going higher. It broke out. It's very clear. If you're a trader, you can see it right here. It broke out. Then it went to 20. Is 20 unusual? This year it is, but guess what? It's been 35 before. I would expect that. I would expect it. This is a possibility. I don't need Robinhood to tell me what the all-time high was. I should do my homework myself. And guess what? You can look, it takes 5 minutes. In 2016, the stock was trading 35. It went to 2. Guess where we went to? 50% retrace.
Hey, how about the call-in yesterday mid-show? Jer telling us he's going to hold, right? And me and you both screaming at him, please take your money.
2 more things. Let me get ready.
Yeah.
2 more things. most retail traders and even some, decent sized traders cannot trade post market. And even then they have limited hours. Their brokers or their institution may put restrictions on what they can do after hours. If you don't get approval to do all these things, you don't even see what happened. And let me show you now that these fib lines are kind of crossing in and changing the colors on my screen here. Let me just remove this real quick. This pewter color is the after hours, Bob. Yesterday, I talked about this yesterday. This is AMC. Most of the move happened AMC after hours. It went from $5 to 25. Okay. Then yesterday it went from, it went from 19 down to 15, back to 21 after hours, and then it opened up here this morning. But when the market opens, okay, so Tasty Trade says you can only get out of your position. Well, if you were still long, you had an opportunity to get out at 16. That was the high tick, 16 and a quarter, right into value. But guess what? If you bought any more, you lost. You're losing the rest of the day. Stop your bitching. They just saved you half your money because it went from 16 to 7, you motherfuckers. I'm over it.
This is the day.
I am
your
over it.
life will surely change.
You want to see what they did on GameStop? You couldn't.
Yeah. Let's see.
You couldn't buy this morning. Oh my God, the pre-market you couldn't buy. You bought at the I'll give it to you. You bottom ticket. You bought it at 276 right on the open. You were the only one, and it went up to 480, which by the way was below the night's high again, 511. They tested it, and you could have sold it if you bought it here, but guess what? They prevented you from doing it. Oh, it went from 480 to 120. You lost 75% of your money, you mothers. They saved you your money today. You should be thanking the clearinghouses because you idiots got saved today. That's all I got to say. End of subject.
All right, Matt Davio, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Matt, here's another thing too. And it seems to me that nobody had a problem with the run of the indexes themselves.
Correct. Yeah. Nobody's complaining that the S&P, which was going down yesterday, it closed at the low. Good earnings got received again as poor information. And Bob, we went from 3,700 to 3,820. What? A short squeeze? Is that legal?
Yeah. That's all there is squeezes.
All it is. Markets are nothing but squeezes. It happens every day. And guess what? You had a great opportunity to buy the test on the European Open. We didn't make a new low. You could have bought it here, and even here at 37.30. You had another 100 points. Sorry you missed it. You should complain to your broker that you didn't understand the markets and the game, the way it works, because nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. And folks, that's them be the beans. Sorry about it. Learn the rules, learn to control your risk. And if you're a Reddit trader, I assure you should not be trading something that has a spread of $512 wide in the last 5 days. You should not be in it. You shouldn't be in it.
All right, man, what else do we got? We were hold on a second. I want to talk a couple of things here. Bong. Little crypto. Let's talk a little crypto. I am mostly on the sidelines, but I got a couple of issues at OK Coin that I wanted to talk about. I talked about H-bar and have been talking about and how I wanted to be patient for that 6 cents level. And they just didn't. They got down to 8, maybe even to the 7 handle, and they couldn't get them any lower.
Yeah, got to 760.
I'm at the con. I've jumped in here, and I wanted to share it and show it. Share. Come on, let's share. I need to have some participation protocols enhanced here, Matthew.
Hey, Bob, settle down. Settle down. And
interesting here. So the 610, I love the 610, Matt. Absence of weakness is strength. We could not hold that lower momentum level. I jump back in here. I think we're going to go test this top at the 12 cent area. I like it. I believe me, I do not want to see this thing reverse and trade and close back in lower momentum. If you fractal out to the 3-day, let's go 3-day. I love this setup on the 3-day. I love it when you get a double top into a collar. Two great places where people in general, if they've been trading a while, like to participate either in taking profits, right, and or establishing shorts. So I talk about these levels as being an argument, man. There's going to be an argument there. There's tons of people that want to sell the double top, and then there's tons of people that are standard deviation traders that are going to sell that either to take profits, right, and or flip and get short, right? Yep. The old flipperoonie. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing there. The other one is this one compound. Compound up 15% today. And I got it there on the 610 as we fractal in and fractal out. Here's the 610. It had been sideways here, reached and reclosed into up momentum. I jumped on board. I think if we could take out the double top here, that it goes to like somewhere around $300. That's what I'm looking at right now on the 3-day. 290 is the collar. As we go up, that's going to expand a little bit. So that's what I'm targeting. I thought the other thing interesting here too is we talk about evaluating from, should I be an ether or compound? And again, another thing that's piqued my interest in here is why would I want to be holding ether with this chart, with this cross chart, the way this thing looks? It's just a better hold. And that's the evaluation that I continually do in crypto, whether it be Ether or Bitcoin holdings. Like, what's telling a better story? It's real easy to move in and out of these things, and especially with the percentage moves that they're having. I'm not trading leverage because there's plenty of action just in the percentages from a 100% valuation protocol. Anyway, that's what I got going on in crypto. You can open an account. I will post a link in this Twitter feed at OKCoin. If you've never traded crypto, super easy to engage in, and you can start participating in the mains and also some of these alts, especially in the DeFi space, that I think have a long-term, good story. It's a good story. The kids were good. That's what I'm seeing, Matt.
The kids are all right?
Kids are all right.
Let me throw in a couple 2 cents just on your H bar because I actually like it from the dark side myself here. And
that's what I love. That's what we call trading, with money against money.
Really, really, as you said, Bob, kind of this move back up here into 9.5 to 10.5 is where I would layer into it, and I'd have a stop on a new high. But this little bounce here, to me, again, it takes time for things to rotate, and I think we're seeing a rotation. I think we're going to eventually trade to that 6. So if you have a little longer time frame, you kind of sell that 9.5 to 10.5. It did hit the 9.5 already, but if it gets back in there, that would be the area that I would want to put on the risk, and then you take it off if you see a new high. You're talking a significant move though. That's 20-30%. If it does go up, so just beware that, that's not small risk. That's a decent sized risk. So again, if that's more risk, then don't take this trade. It's pretty,
especially Matt too, let's just face it. The leverage man has buried more people than any other trading methodology.
But if you don't play these what if games in your mind, what could happen if if GameStop went from 2 to 500 and I was short at 150? What can happen? I have 1,000 shares. I'd be down 350 grand if it went to 500. Am I comfortable with that? Am I comfortable riding that the whole way? If so,
not only that, if I was lucky enough to get on the long side, where do you think this is going? This happens all the time, Matt.
Yes.
And believe me, I'm equally at fault for doing it, for looking for the home run. I constantly have to battle this in my own trading regimen. Take the fucking money. Yes. Take the money.
Absolutely. If you watch something go from 2 to 500, wake the F up, because it's not going to go from 500 to 1,000. We already know the fundamentals don't make any sense. So wake up. Don't be greedy. Don't be, again, Kramer says it all the time. Bulls, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. So, basically, basically what I'm hearing today and all the news wires, it's fucking pigs. You fucking pigs. If you didn't take your profits, now you're counting money that you should have had. That's your problem, not mine.
Right. Exactly.
It's not my problem.
I agree 100%, 110%.
I mean, if you go to Vegas and you turn 1,000 into 10 and then you watch the 10 go into -50, whose fault is that? It's Vegas's fault.
Again,
They had the games. I just couldn't stop myself from playing.
Right, exactly.
People,
Backdoor
have some accountability.
All right, Matt.
This is the day, Bob. This is the day.
Back to that. This is the day your life will surely change.
If you don't learn from this, tough nuts.
100%, man. Your life will change when everything in your life is your fault. Bottom line, that's it. And trading is one of those professions where the ifs and buts are candy and nuts. Every day'd be Christmas, man. So please stop. Every day's not Christmas.
It's not easy. It is not an easy business. It's one of the freaking hardest businesses you can get involved in. Matter of fact, my warning to all of you is stay the F out if you can't handle the heat, because
and I forgot to talk about that coming in. I'm supposed to do it every time we come in. None of this is trading advice. Well, this is how my brain works. Please don't jump inside my brain. All right.
It's crowded enough.
It's very crowded in there, especially on the golf course. My 7 or 8 people talking when I'm trying to take the backswing. It's unreal. And I hate the last guy that's always, did I leave the garage door open? Like nothing at all to do with my golf swing. Just throwing something out there to make sure I shank it. Anyway, Matt, always a pleasure. Please join marketvitals.io. This is the dialogue that we have on an ongoing basis here, along with trade ideas, trade setups, any number of great song playlists, recipes, high fashion, back in black. Matt, thank you so much, man. And also, please, if you enjoy the cast, the podcast, as we put it back up on the podcast, or this live stream, please share it far and wide like a Chicago voter. Share it early, share it often, share it with your dead relatives. Have your dead relatives engage with.
Hey, by the way, did you see that Microsoft now is coming up with an app that allows dead people in your life, your mom, your dad, to be able to talk to you again, to text you again? So
I got to tell you something right now. I don't think the human experience is that complicated. Like, I am not that complicated of a person. And the things that I have said for 20, 30 years now. And I remember Ray Kurzweil, right? That guy about the what do they call it when technology crosses over humanity? I forget what that's called. And he's actually, he's trying to download his entire self digitally. So when he dies, there can be a digital representation of him. If you've seen the movie Ex Machina, I highly recommend it, because the AI, as it develops into people, like they just have a full robot that's AI, and Ex Machina, it's just a brilliant movie, man. And one thing I can't wait for is when they do this, right? I got horsewhipped out of a job, right? They figured out the computer was better than me overall at execution of orders. Overall, I mean, there's some things that it's not better at me than, but overall, and I can't wait till, like in Ex Machina, they have no more actors. Actors are gone. They just have robots, and the robot can do everything. It can emote, it can act, it knows all the lines. It doesn't need its own trailer, right? It never drinks tequila and snorts blow, and so it can't, to the point where it can't show up on set for days in a row. Right? It never all of a sudden knows more about everybody else, about political agendas and what the world should be doing. It's a fucking actor, all right? And it's programmed, and it can do everything that actors can do. And fuck you, actors, you're out of a job, just like I'm out of a job as a commodity trader. I'm sorry, that's the way I feel. Technology's coming, man, and it disrupts. That's the only thing that we know that it does for sure. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. I'm still ready for the Amish 2.0, where I think I'd rather be behind a horse plowing a field. Anyway,
get yourself a
please
flip
join
phone.
us.
Yeah, get yourself a flip phone, and I'm calling Quest today and getting a corded phone back in the house. So I'm going to have that cord be 50 feet so I can walk around the perimeter of my house.
All right. We're all getting horse whipped out of jobs, man. That's all there is to it.
Hey, you'll be broke and you'll be happy. That's
Right
the
on.
world order.
You'll own nothing. You'll be broke. You'll be sucking your thumb in the corner, but you'll be
So
happy
happy.
because you'll have the Steely Dan on the
You'll have
bookshelf.
Aja. You'll have Aja playing in the background.
No, the Steely Dan, Matt. Do you know what the Steely Dan is?
I do.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. You
there
can
we go.
save that for another show. I think you've talked about it here before. So
I don't know. I know I talked about it. You probably on the golf course. You thought it was my driver. When I whipped out the Steely Dan. Holy shit.
oh my God.
All right, Matt. Have a great day. Please join us, though. Please join us at marketvitals.io. Take it easy.